Welcome back to the Good Boys Podcast. My name is Zach.
My name's Tyler.
And we are back. We've had a very eventful time the last time we saw each other. We both went and saw Tenet.
Yeah, that was...
and if you're watching this, of course, from the title of this video, I think I titled it Tenet Spoiler Talk. We will find out on there. But we also have a bunch of different things. We're going to talk about the Dune trailer. Xbox finally has a release date. There's some PS5 stuff to talk about. We have some viewer questions and, of course, video games franchises that we want to talk about that should come back. And as well talking about the Avengers game and what live service games might have for the future. Now, I know Tyler hasn't played the Avengers game yet, but you did play a lot of Destiny.
Yeah.
And Destiny's live service game. So it's going to be fun to talk about it. How have you been, though, man? I know we saw last week your mind was blown from Tenet.
Yeah, Tenet was... Dude, that was amazing.
You still feel the same way about it?
No.
No. Okay, so how are you feeling right now?
I still positive.
Okay.
Still positive. That's like the good thing. My hype around, or I shouldn't say my hype, but my excitement of after going, say, like that honeymoon phase definitely died away. I started like kind of like thinking about it and just like different things within the story. And should we talk about spoilers on this?
Yeah, full spoiler discussion.
Right,
so if you haven't seen Tenet yet,
just don't.
we'll wave our hands. And if you're listening to a podcast format, then I'm sorry. I mean, the movie's already hard enough to explain. Like, we're gonna talk about it, but I don't think it'll really affect you if you.
Yeah, you have to go see the movie from start to finish to really understand it.
And then you'll probably even need to see it again.
Yeah, because even like it's definitely I need to go watch it again.
It's straight up like I've seen it twice. I want to see it a third time. I want to see it a fourth time. I love the movie. I think it's Nolan's best film because on a standpoint, he's built his career to this point.
Yeah.
As a director and a writer. And I think what he does with Tenet is, I don't think everyone will agree that it's his best film. I don't even think everyone will agree that it's their favorite film.
You know, so...
Interstellar is still my favorite one.
Let me actually add on to that because I watched a few... Because I was curious about what other people thought about the movie. And the biggest one I heard was that... spoilers. The main character doesn't have a name.
Yes, the protagonist. Which I love that.
Yeah, me too. And a lot of these things that people didn't like about the movie were things that are generic about a story.
Yeah. And
I understand it. I'm like, yeah, I understand why people won't like this movie. Like, it's not your traditional thing. It's not about character.
Supposed to be. No.
It's not about character at all. It's all about plot. It's 100%.
The way I thought about this game, this movie, the point of it, Christopher Nolan's always been about immersion and putting you into the front seat of the ride. Yeah. Look at Interstellar, Inception. That's the point. Why is he called the protagonist? You are the protagonist. When he goes through something, you're going through it the first time. When he goes inversion for the first time, you're going through inversion for the first time. You're learning as he learns. You're learning. That's why this film is like that, and I love that. And not everyone's going to.
No.
But the thing is, you have to go in understanding that that's what Nolan wants you to feel. But he wants you to feel immersed into this world and make you feel like you are the protagonist. He's confused. If you literally half the time he doesn't understand what's going on either. But when he starts to figure it out, you start to figure it out.
Yeah, and you also get a sense of that same, like, probably feeling he would feel as an actual character, like, if this was a real thing, that, holy shit, it fucking clicks and makes sense. You get that same reaction, which is really, really cool, because while he's having the reaction, you're having that same reaction.
Yeah, because the three biggest criticisms I've seen from every other review. First one is, it's too confusing.
Which, I don't think it's that confusing. You just have to pay attention.
I agree. And a lot of people complain about the story being confusing. I'm like, the story's not confusing. It's a straight up MacGuffin. They need to get this before this guy gets it, and if they don't, everyone dies. And people will complain, why did he have to go here? Why did he have to go here?
You have to pay attention.
You have to pay attention, but you also need to understand, this is like Nolan's version of Bond. He is literally paying homage to James Bond films. James Bond films are like this, and a lot of people honestly,
now that you say that, it's really version of
James Bond. It's also just his own espionage spy film, and that's my thing. That's why I love Tenet, because when you go into a Mission Impossible, James Bond film, or even John Wick, I'm going to tell you, I never expect to get emotion. I expect to be immersed, jaw maybe hitting the floor here and there, and just really much being like, oh my god, these actions so cool.
Or just like how crazy.
That's what Tenet gave me. I've never been emotionally invested in any of those films. Now you can say, well, there's some emotionality, but that's because there's 8 films in some of those franchises. James Bond, there's 25. Daniel Craig's had 6 of them. John Wick, there's 3 of them, and the reason you're most emotionally attached to him is because of the fucking dog. I mean, if it wasn't...
Or just the character. Because they've been there for so long, and honestly,
if Tenet had sequels, I guarantee... Literally, so if Tenet was a trilogy, I guarantee everyone would be like, oh my god, the third one's amazing. I can't believe like where this character has gone from.
And I hope they... I hope...
Also, I need to
just
correct myself. When you asked me what Tenet was, I told you the wrong thing. Tenet is the group of people. The military forces, that's Tenet. He's created Tenet.
Gotcha.
That's what it is. So, because some videos I saw said Tenet was the inversion time stuff. But then I watched the director talk about it, and he specifically said this is what Tenet is.
Gotcha.
Which doesn't really matter. It's still cool. It's still about time.
So another thing I loved about this movie was how it started. Because the way it started was... You're like expecting like somewhat of a
build up,
build up a slow. No, it starts and you are in for a ride. Because it doesn't stop after that. Oh my god, the airport scene when they're like even people that watched the trailer know what that part is. Was like, it hasn't happened yet. That whole scene, and then. Like, that's another, like, really what I say is, like, when you have to pay attention, because if you don't pay attention, and you have to pay attention and you have to think. It's not one of those movies where it's a casual movie. Some people, like...
You miss a detail, that could be a drastic thing for later on.
You just, like, and some people don't like that. I like it because
it's different. So what don't you like about it now? You said you've changed your feeling.
There's just certain plot points in the, like, really one main one was the antagonist. And
Russian?
Maybe I didn't yet. Oh, fantastic!
My favorite, and I'll say this: the most underrated line in there is when he's at the dinner table. He goes, "Have you slept with my wife yet?" And then John David Washington's like,
"No,
not yet."
He's like, "No,"
and then he goes,
"Not yet."
They're gonna take you up the hill. Take your balls and shove it down your throat, and then when you're trying to grab them, I'm gonna slit your throat. He goes. That's very, very graphic.
Or it's like, no, he's like, he says, that's how you treat all your desks?
Yeah. I was like, John David Washington, man, is the man.
Oh, yeah. Fantastic performance. But the one thing that, again, I feel like I need to go watch it again, maybe about some years, and why the antagonist didn't go back or go forward so far in time, or backwards, depending on how you look at it, to prevent all those things that happen for him
to succeed. So
So
the reason that he didn't, because I actually had that thought the first time, was because they mentioned that he wants to die on the happiest day of his life, which is that one day that they retreat back to. And that's why I believe that that's the day, because the version of the version of him that we see on that ship is the version that we've been fighting this whole time. It's not the back in time version. So I think it's clever on how they did that. And maybe some people won't like feel like that's a great motive, like you're an idiot, you're literally giving up, but that's like how he felt. If he's gonna die.
But that's what I love about that character, and again why I love this movie so much, is because it gives him more of a human feel. It's like, oh, that's idiotic, but you have to think humans are idiotic. That's for me, like, that his whole
humans are selfish too. And if it's like he's selfish to even his own organization, like, if I'm going to kill everyone, I'm going to do it on my own terms.
And then and
instead of in a successful amount of terms. So, and it's clever, but the thing that's also working against him on that is Robert Pattinson's coming from the future pretty much. So he knows what can succeed and what can't.
He's almost like a Doctor Strange.
Like,
so that makes sense.
Dormammu, I've come to bargain. That's literally like.
Okay, so that so with that being said, I would like I have to again.
The film's a 10 out of 10.
I have to watch it again, but like,
do you think your family would like it, like your mom and dad? Because I've been thinking about that. I'm like, my dad really wants to see it, and I'm like, I don't know if he would like it. Neither with my mom. I don't know. I think they'll be too confused.
See, for me, I'm like, I don't know. Like, this is a movie where I think everybody should go watch it and like really like try to pay attention, try to like make sense of it all, because it is a fantastic movie. But I'm not expecting anybody to like it. Mm-hmm. Like if this
has a really low, it's 70% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I'm not expecting it to do anything better because of how
I think this film. I think people who don't like it right now in the future will look back and be like, I really like when they rewatch it. Because there's a YouTuber that I follow that the first time he saw it, I fucking hated it. Like, literally despised it. He was like, this is a terrible Nolan film. This is his worst film ever. And then he goes, but I feel like I need to see it again. Saw it. So his first score was a 2 out of 5. His latest score is a 4.5 out of 5. He goes, I get it. He goes, I get the film.
Yeah, and that's probably, that the low scores probably stem from, I'm just saying, like, it doesn't make sense. Mm-hmm. And again, I understand why people think that.
If you miss one detail, I can understand that, yeah.
Like, even and you know exactly what detail I'm about to talk about, the backpack scene. Or
yes.
Like the backpack charm. If you don't pay attention to that, if you don't catch it in the beginning, ending,
the first time I saw
you will never, you'll be like, why is it,
so the first time I saw that, I blinked.
Oh,
and it was gone.
God.
So then once I see it again, I kind of put two and together with that backpack, but I was still like, okay, was that John David Washington in the future protecting himself, or is that Neil? And then the more I thought about it, I was like, oh, it's probably Neil. But that's what I was looking for the second time. But it's not even just that. It's the small little details, like the red and blue room. When they're in that room, they're reversing dialogue, which, do you know, in China, their theaters, their entrances are red right now, and their exits are blue.
No shit?
Yep.
That's neat.
Isn't that fucking awesome?
That's crazy.
Like, all their IMAX theaters are like that. I'm like, why can't we do that out here?
That's nuts.
That's so smart.
I did, I noticed that, I feel like even for my first watch, I noticed the details, but not all the small dialogue things. And that was
the dialogue's what I picked up on this time around.
The one thing I did not like. That was probably, and the number one thing, like, when you release it to the mass public, maybe you can change it, but the audio, the music is like,
the music's so loud.
Yeah, and it starts at a weird time where like a character will start to talk, and it just
so
you can't even hear.
My first time seeing the film, yes, but there's something weird that the second time I saw it with you, I could hear it better.
Yeah, and
I don't know if it's because my ears adjusted to like, okay, my ears.
Maybe this is really like Nolan's, like, he did more to this movie than you actually thought. It might be where the movie just, I don't know. Like, you start to pick up, I mean, as you should, the more you watch it. Nolan just does weird things with this movie.
And I love it. I love
smart.
Like, I just rewatched The Dark Knight last night, and then I started Dark Knight Rises, but it was like fucking midnight, and I need to get up, so I stopped. But I love him. I love him as a filmmaker. So one thing I want to talk about before we end this spoiler talk, the theory. The kid, is that really Neil?
Ugh.
I told you that, and the more that I've looked into it, I said there's no way that it's just a coincidence. There's no way. I'm going to go with yes. And I think that gives an even more underlying meaning, because when he saves them at the end, that's kind of the start of his journey with Neil.
But Neil, remember when he's about to, at the end, he's about to take off on the helicopter, and he says, like,
this is our
end. Yeah.
Which I love that ending. I love that ending. And for me, it's like,
that
he says, this is the beginning of our friendship, but this is the ending for you. Yeah. So I'm wondering if the actual beginning, though, like when he actually met Neil, was with that kid.
It might. And like, that was like, it's not supposed to be like sad or like a melancholy.
I'm still listening.
Feeling.
I'm going to check the camera.
Yeah. It's not like supposed to be a melancholy feeling, but that scene has a melancholy feeling to it. At least for me, it is. Like, he knew the whole time. It's like, he didn't know that, like, this was like one of his best friends, basically.
Yeah.
Like, that was like, that's the end.
And it's really brilliant. It's really brilliant how they do that.
And even like, if that whole like scene right there, if you don't think about it, it don't make sense.
Yeah.
It won't make sense.
It's a clever film. So, what's your score out of 10?
Yeah, like a 9 out of 10, if not a 10.
I'm a 10.
I have to watch it. I have to watch it multiple times before.
Is that one of the best films you've seen in a while?
Oh yeah, easy, hands down.
So, what would you say the best film that you saw before that would be?
I have no
Endgame?
idea. No, I didn't like Endgame. I really did not like Endgame. Everything was very predictable.
I thought you liked it.
No,
you liked Infinity War.
Yes.
Yeah, you liked Infinity, and you liked the new Spider-Man, right? With Mysterio. Okay.
Yeah. So like I didn't care for Endgame. Everything was predictable. Like that's the. I didn't know what to expect with Tenet. I like when I'm constantly saying, I'm like, I have no idea what the fuck's gonna happen.
Was Us? Because I know you're kind of iffy on Us, but I feel like you liked it.
I liked it because it wasn't what I expected. Just what the actual thing was. Wasn't what I wanted.
Yeah.
But it was still good for its originality.
Okay.
Endgame for me. Like I think it's a beautiful film.
I think it's good. I think it's really me. I love it. I love the moments and stuff like that.
But what it stands for, that's the thing. What it stands for, it's a generation high of all the movies. Finally, like for wrapping it all up. That Star Wars. No.
Can I ask you something?
What?
Do you think the next big event for the Avengers? Because they're gonna build back up 10 years from now when
Galactus, I think.
See. So I was thinking about this. I said, which guys, this is the Good Boys podcast. We get all on Spurs and come back around. That's the best thing about it. I thought about it. They're probably going to do the same thing. 3 phases and a big film. And at the end of each phase being a big film, like an Avengers level film.
Yeah.
I thought about it. I'm like, so you have a couple big villains left. You have Doctor Doom. You have Galactus. You just have to figure out a way to get the Avengers 4 back in.
Yeah. And do it correctly.
I think they're actually going to do that through Ant-Man 3. But that's just my theory. You have MODOK. You have Sinister Six. They decided to go that route with Spider-Man.
Sinister Six, I don't think will play a big enough role.
That's why I'm saying a first Avengers film with the Avengers all together, like the new set of Avengers.
Yeah.
And we didn't mention this yet, but Chadwick Boseman, rest in peace.
Yeah. Chadwick Boseman.
We're not going to talk about what they're going to do. No. But
I'm not really interested in it, honestly. Like, for me, the way I stand on him, like, I would say just kind of put that character to rest.
Let someone else take on the mantle. I mean, if that's what you need to do. But rest in peace to him. Last weekend I went and did a double feature of 42 and Get On Up for his performances. And tomorrow I'm going to see Black Panther in theaters again.
Yeah.
And, it's tough watching. I mean, like, he was an actor who just started breaking out. And the fact that he fought colon cancer for the last 4 years, losing weight, it's terrible.
I mean, look at him in Black Panther.
He's
damn,
I know. So,
so
rest in peace to him, man. I mean,
dude was a fighter.
He was. So, I don't know what they're going to do. I don't really care to know. Honestly, I'm with you. I think he is Black Panther. No one, but again, and Marvel didn't know he had cancer, so it's a big thing of what.
And again, dude was a fighter. Like he kept that shit away.
He's
from
a real
everything.
hero. He's a true hero. He's a true hero. And anyone working around him that knew about it are also heroes. So
agreed. They did what I would assume that he wanted them to do, and not say anything to anybody, and make him look like he was a regular human.
Yep,
doing his thing.
100%.
Rest in peace, man.
So, let's go back, wrap it around the Tenet. So, do you think this is your favorite Nolan film, or is Inception and all Interstellar and all those?
I'd have to go back and watch Interstellar.
Okay, because that's my favorite one right now.
Yeah, I would say they're tied right there. I'd have
Inception up there too?
Inception I don't love as much.
Oh, okay.
Like, it's good. I enjoy it. But I like Inception, but that concept doesn't fascinate me nowhere near as close as space and time.
Fair enough.
That's just me.
Yeah.
Like, space travel and exploration.
Just not the thing?
No, that is.
Oh, okay.
Just like that. Why I love Interstellar. Like, I love Interstellar so much because of the concept of what it is.
It's really unique.
Tackles.
Yeah.
Well, it's unique, but I don't know, man. Nolan is just his own. He's in his own lane when it comes. Like, he's a legit like artist when it comes to movie making.
What do you think? What do you want to see him do next? Personally, for you.
I mean, he's done space travel, time now that with Tenet. What was it, Inception again? It was dreams, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want him to do a horror.
I don't know if, I mean, it'd be cool to see his take on a horror film. But the thing that I've noticed with Nolan is that my favorite movies are the ones that are deal with some kind of like, again, like time, space travel, and dreams. It's like something we deal with on a day-to-day basis. We're fascinated about it. You can critically think about it. You can come to logical answers.
It's interesting.
So stuff like that, where it's like it really does make you think and question like your own reality. Something like that. Maybe something that deals with absolute rest, or something like that.
That'd be unique, rest.
Well, so absolute rest, absolute time. Like Albert Einstein had this idea. So the speed of light travels at, so quote me on this, but 180,000 miles per second. So the idea of absolute rest, which is basically like, could you observe that? And Albert Einstein had this idea of, well, someone was moving and running at the same speed of light, would he be able to see absolute nothing? Basically, like it being still.
You and Nolan should work together on a film.
Something like that.
Just email him that, and then 3 years from now, you're gonna see that idea.
It's great. Like take Albert Einstein's, I don't know, anything. Yeah.
It's unique, man. It's unique. So let's move forward to the video game talk. Or should we talk about Dune for a bit?
Let's talk about Dune for a second.
All right, so Dune's also from Warner Brothers. Trailer came out yesterday. I'm in the middle of reading the book right now. Captures the book very well. The biggest thing that a lot of people don't know about, people compare this and say it's pretty much Lord of the Rings and Star Wars put together on an epic scale. But the big thing from the book is it's more mature. It's not as action set piece. But I think that's something they're going to change about in here just a bit, because you can see a lot of action, and it looks beautiful. The world looks vast, and they only filmed 2 scenes in front of a green screen.
That's crazy.
It's all real sets and everything like that. It's absolutely fascinating.
So I looked up into Dune because I saw the trailer. It looked very interesting.
Great cast. Great
cast.
Great director, too. Director from Blade Runner, Prisoners, Enemy, Arrival.
I was like, it looked very interesting. The art style, and even the trailer doesn't tell you anything about what it's about. Which
it gets you interested, and you're like, I want to see this. I want to see where this goes.
And so I looked into it, and found out, I was like, oh, it's not. People compare it to where it's like it's Star Wars and Lord of the Rings combined together. No. That's what inspired both of them. Well,
that's the thing. They inspired them.
Both of them.
But that's how it's taken, is that this is going to be...
This is the Godfather.
This could potentially be the next big franchise. Guys, we are potentially seeing... If this film succeeds and it works and it makes money and it can become this is we are living in a generation where we are going to see the next big franchise come out to play.
Yeah, I saw... So I went on YouTube and watched it again. And then I was curious, how many people are watching this? There's a lot of people.
Dude, I did a trailer reaction for it. I'm at 12,000 views.
There's a lot of people. And I hope that means that people are interested and want to go see it. Because from, again, reading what this book, story, movie is all about is so beautiful.
It's so cool. And then the sandworm at the end.
Oh, but that's and that's the thing, you saw those sandworms, and I'm like, oh, that's a cool creature. But then I read what it's about. Those sandworms play a humongous role in this story. It's not just this deadly creature.
Listen to the director talking about it. The director pretty much spoke and said, I wanted to make these worms godlike creatures.
Yeah.
And that's what they look like.
Well, but that's the presence that they have in the whole story. And even just understanding, it's what the planet is and like how it's like if you control like literally if you control this planet, you control the universe. It's not like it's some mass weapon or anything like that. It's completely based off of a commodity.
It's so unique.
And it's like the way it's just beautiful. Like the idea behind it is amazing. I want to read the book now. After reading what the whole story's about, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna read this. The book
is so like from where it's a tough read because there's a lot of like.
Oh yeah, I heard it. Well, I heard it's just a lot of. It's like Game of Thrones. There's a lot of characters.
Lots of characters, rich world. Yeah. They're making it. They already announced they're doing a show on HBO Max for it.
Really?
To spin it off and do one of the side stories. So, wow. I mean, they have it. I'm excited, dude. They already have a script written for the second film if it does well.
So how many books are there of Dune?
There's like 8. But yeah.
Holy shit.
I think there's like 6 to 8 of them.
I saw how thick
and those are like the main books. To be honest though, the book's not that thick because I have the book. It's like so the first part of this is 300 pages. The second part's another 300. So, are you looking it up?
Yeah, I'm curious. 528 pages for the first one.
So yeah, 6. Plus, I think there's pretty sure there's side stories and stuff like that.
Second one's 336. Fourth
416.
Third one, 416.
432.
Fourth is 432. 480 and
488.
6 is 488. When was this released last?
And then
holy shit!
My book
back in 1985
has a bunch of maps in it on how to do certain things, like where locations are. It has a full dictionary with their language in it.
Yeah,
it's wild, man. But I'm super excited to see what they do with Dune. So I'm gonna pose this question to you. Do you think this will be the next big epic fantasy franchise, or do you think it won't succeed?
If it succeeds, it will be.
Do you think it will?
It'll be bigger. I think if they do it right. The one thing that bugs me about.
Do you think it actually comes out this year? Tenet only made $20 million. The film needs like $400 million to make even. It's only at like 185 right now.
So here's like the thing with movies. Like you have, like if you release a movie, you know you're not gonna make your money back right now. Like,
yeah,
like that's like the shit thing. It's like you can't.
Movie's supposed to come out on December 18th. I don't think it comes out.
I don't know. I don't know.
If Wonder Woman gets pushed back again, it's not.
I don't know what the whole like when it comes to revenue. I don't know because it's such. I don't work within that industry. I don't know. You know what it takes, what it's gonna take to fail, what's gonna take to succeed. I don't know. That's like it's the daunting thing about it right now. In a way, I see what I mean. If you look at it, I would say Netflix is doing just fine. I think. It's more of I think it's gonna be a weird transition of movie theaters, creators, directors, all that, houses realizing, okay, if this is going to continue, if we this is just how life is. Either A, you got to figure out how to make your costs different, make it cheaper so you can make revenue, or you say maybe these are a thing of the past.
Yeah. See, for me, I think so. Like Mulan came out on Disney Plus, but they didn't put it in theaters.
Yeah. So before we go back onto this, let me answer your question. Do I think that it will succeed? If it succeeds the way it needs to, yes. The only thing I have a problem with seeing it, I mean, it's only just me thing. It doesn't look as gritty as I feel like it might need to be.
To be honest, watching the trailer, that's as gritty as it needs to be. And also, they showed enough without. I was surprised to even see the worm. To be completely honest with you, I didn't think they were going to show it in the trailer. I thought they were going to keep that for another trailer. But from a first trailer standpoint, if you're a Dune fan, I think you're going to be happy.
Yeah, so that's the thing. I haven't read into this.
So that's my thing. So are you excited about it now?
I'm excited after I read what it's about.
Would you go see it first day?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's it. All right, let's talk about video games, man. So I want to talk about the Avengers. I just beat it, and it's... A lot of people talk shit about this game. It has a terrible Metacritic score. People are review bombing it. People are mad that it's a live service game, even though they announced that it was going to be years ago. Live service games are going to be the future, at least for right now. And I think there's pros and cons to them. And I think we need to look at Destiny as how you make a live service game work.
Let me tell you right now.
Yes.
Live service games, from some of that, I mean, we all play them, and I played a heavy amount of Destiny at its peak.
And I think Destiny's going to turn back around once still Bungie keeps adding what they need to add to it.
Let me say this. Live service games don't work. Period. How long has Destiny and Bungie been saying, oh yeah, we add this thing, it's going to work. We're dropping this DLC, it's going to work. How long have they had this game and they've been saying that?
See, but I disagree. I think it's working. It's got my attention back. And that's
they always do this. They do this last year. They do this with every major DLC. They get people interested. They release it. I could be completely wrong. Maybe this is the time that they change it. I'm just saying here.
But it's not just Destiny. I also look at Fortnite. Fortnite's been kicking for 3 years now.
Fortnite doesn't do anything differently. They keep the same formula.
They keep the same formula with adding new little things here and there.
Small, minor things that don't even do anything. But hey, they're winning.
Yeah.
But it doesn't bring me back in.
Yeah.
Like my opinion on it, it doesn't work. Because I'm not a person that's going to invest hours or even any kind of substantial amount of time on something that is minute.
So, and that's the thing, but I think Avengers can take it a unique thing because they've said that they're going to keep adding characters. They're going to add the likes. We already know they're adding Black Panther, Hawkeye, Spider-Man, and Captain Marvel. We know all those are like 100%. They're happening in the game.
Okay.
So for me, it's like, first off, are some of those... We know some are free. We don't know which ones. I'm going to tell you right now, like, I ain't fucking paying for Hawkeye. I'm not paying for this. But for me, it's like...
Live service games don't work.
So for
because
me, though,
you also have microtransactions if you have a live service game.
Well, that's the biggest problem with it. The thing, though, I want to see is, do the characters come with story missions? Does it come with that? Because that's going to intrigue me. I play a game for story now. I don't play a game for the grind. I don't play a game to fucking sit there and be like, okay, I'm gonna play the game and I'm gonna get to level 60 and I'm gonna get this nuke because I'm gonna get a 25 kill streak.
I agree.
It doesn't
hook my agree. But because I was thinking about that about Cyberpunk, like what's really grabbing my attention for that? Not even stories. I don't even know what it's about. It's immersion, truthfully.
Well, immersion's another big thing too. You want to be immersed into this world. You want to feel like you were there. So, and that's why I'm saying, dude, if Cyberpunk announces they're doing VR, I'll go buy a VR headset.
I don't give a fuck about it. Like, I'm not interested. I really just want to, like, this point in time with video games, like, I'm just want to enjoy my time.
Well, and that's what I'm saying.
And, like, I don't feel like I can't enjoy my time.
But it's like this next Suicide Squad game is rumored to be live service. It's like, that's 3 years away.
I'm not interested.
And that's my thing, though. Like, why would you do that instead of... I get microtransactions help companies thrive way more since video games are becoming more and more expensive. In fact...
But here's the thing.
I was looking at the budget on certain games. But here's the thing.
Is it... Or because why is it that there's certain... Look at Ghost of Tsushima. Mm-hmm. It's not a live service game. And they're killing it. Zero microtransaction. They're doing a whole DLC that's free with a raid and all this other shit.
That is true. I forgot about that.
And they're killing it. Same thing with Cyberpunk. Not a live service game. No day one patch update. They're getting completely rid of all of their bugs. That's why they pushed it back so many times.
Yep.
Because they want to make this game as smooth as possible. Basically making games how they used to be, where they didn't have the internet to do this shit, and no microtransactions. And I guarantee it, it's going to kill it. It's going to make a stupid amount of money, and it's going to be another middle finger to EA and Activision, everybody else that has to make sure their bottom line. Like I don't. For me, that's another reason why I'm sick of video games. I don't play them anymore. It's just a cash grab for every company. It's becoming like the most. It's no longer about, hey, how can we make people enjoy this game? No, it's about how can we keep people to play on longer?
And buy microtransactions.
Yeah. It's not about how are people enjoying this game. It's about how can we keep people frustrated.
And I think a big example that looks at a company that really fucked people over in the beginning was Battlefront 2. Battlefront 2 came out.
No. EA
Fucked Battlefront 2.
No, they fucked every game they touch. Look at 2K.
I haven't even touched 2K.
Exactly.
I don't know any of that.
No. I've never touched 2K, but they fuck the whole game, and I don't understand because George.
Yeah.
Everybody else loves that game. I'm like, why are you playing this game? It's like the grind. It's 2K. I'm like, you guys are so like. George, I love you. I love everybody else that plays this game. But why are you guys playing? Like, I'm kind of subject to it. I play Call of Duty, but after I get frustrated, I just turn it off and I don't play
That's how I feel.
Like, I'm just, all right, I'm done. I play 1 or 2 games. I'm like, I'm done. What? 30 minutes of my time?
When I'm not having fun, I don't want to play a game anymore. I don't have the time. I don't have the time. I think that's the biggest thing.
And that's another thing where I'm like, I don't really give a shit about the next Call of Duty. Because I'm playing this game now, and I thought they changed it in the beginning. Like, this is fresh. No, it's still Call of Duty. I'm still getting frustrated. I spent my money on yet another dumb game. And I'm tired of it. I've been saying this for so long,
how
right?
Every year we say, I'm not going to buy the
done.
next Call of Duty.
I'm done. Do you know why?
Tyler, you're going to buy the next one. I already fucking know you.
Do you know why?
You're going to buy it.
Check this out. Do you know why I won't buy this one?
Why?
Because I didn't even buy this one. Do you know who bought it?
Who?
My brother.
Oh.
And guess who we're Game Pass sharing? Me and him. Okay. So if he bought it, I was like, that was already the agreement. If you buy something and I kind of want to play it, or I'll play it too, I will give you money.
Yeah.
And there are games that he'll buy out and I don't play, and I don't give him money for it.
So I have a question.
All right, so he bought it. I'm probably eventually going to play Call of Duty. Here's some money, and I played it. I didn't go out and say, I'm gonna go play. I'm gonna go. Yeah. No, I am, and I'm getting a PlayStation. So, yeah. I'm not playing the next.
I'm gonna buy you it just to play zombies with me. I want to play.
Caveat.
Zombies. Huh.
I need to see how zombies look.
Okay, I will agree with you. I want to get this new Call of Duty just because I do like.
It's funny how I was like saying all this bad shit about Call of Duty. I was like, caveat. Yeah,
zombies is different. Zombies, because here's the thing: every time there's a zombie mode, what do you and me put more time in? The multiplayer, or the zombies.
Zombies, but that is also another thing. Depends on, again, Cyberpunk, because they're saying that they're going to have a multiplayer.
Yeah, didn't they say that comes out in 2021? I think is what they mentioned.
Do they have? I haven't really looked into it because I really just want to keep things like as quiet as possible for me and just like.
I don't know anything about it.
I don't really know much either. I just watched like the trailers, but I don't dig deep into it. There's a lot of DLC coming out for it. It's going to be bigger apparently than The Witcher 3, and they're going to the multiplayer. I don't know.
The Witcher 3 has one of the best add-ons ever to a game.
And they're doing this in like I don't like it. After I keep on saying this, on Cyberpunk comes out, I won't really play anything else. I'll like that will be my game hobby. Is I only play Cyberpunk on my days off, and I don't, or like my downtime where I don't really have anything else going on.
It's crazy what they're doing with the video games, and like that's my thing is that this next generation of games is already crazy. Every game's gonna be around $70 now, which is a fucking joke.
More reason why.
Like, no. I will ask you, are you going to get the disc drive or the digital? Digital? Okay, see, I'm getting the disc drive. Just because I like physical more, but I was curious to see what you'd be getting.
I totally understand it. But... person that won't be... I won't have a lot of games. Mm-hmm. Digital's perfect because I don't play more than.
So you're getting the PS5, games. Right? No Xbox at all.
Depends on what Xbox has to show.
Yeah.
If I have some extra cash laying around.
So I have a question. With the PS5, are there any games from the PS4 that you want to play that you didn't get to?
Ghost of Tsushima. Okay. I might play Last of Us.
Okay.
Might.
I think
I'm not really.
I feel, but I was just curious if there was like any games that you were like from that you missed.
The nostalgia factor of like the whole. So with Last of Us 2, it's just kind of dead. Like,
you already know what happens. It's like,
well, not only that, but have you realized like the whole like, I know like how amazing like Last of Us. It's like I feel like it's no longer there. Like,
I don't know what
sales
I don't know what you're talking about. Dude.
Oh, I see sales. There's a lot of articles saying that sales are plummeting. No one's buying Last of Us anymore.
I don't see. I follow that shit.
And well,
that's the thing. Every game falls. Yeah, most single player games fall within the first few months. It's been out already for 4 months.
And here's like another thing that like kind of just don't like really just like rubbed me the wrong way. And again, I might play it, but just more of like my excitement towards it. Ghost of Tsushima outbeat Last of Us by a lot, didn't it?
No.
Last
of Us is still the highest selling game on the PS4
really?
ever. Fastest, and it's gonna beat the record if it keeps where it's going right now to be the most selling. Because the highest selling game on the PlayStation is still Spider-Man because it's fucking Spider-Man.
Look this up because we have.
I know, I'm looking right now. August 16th, Last of Us Part 2 continues to shatter PlayStation sales records. This is the latest.
What about Ghost of Tsushima?
I'm going to look that up next. Let me finish this article. But continue your thoughts while I'm doing this. It's the third highest grossing video game ever.
Wow.
The two...
Modern Warfare 2 is the first?
No. So Animal Crossing is number 2. And number 1's Modern Warfare. And Last of Us Part 2 trails just a little bit behind Spider-Man and God of War at this point. It's already, within its first 3 days, it sold 4 million copies.
Wow.
And that's just physical copies.
Yeah.
Digitally, it sold 2.8 million copies.
Damn.
Just in June and July.
Then.
I was about to say, I was like, I don't know where you're coming from. But I'll go look up Ghost of Tsushima. Because
I guess I was reading like some weird, dumb articles that is not incredible.
But let me go look up Ghost of Tsushima. Because Ghost of Tsushima, they've already announced that they're planning on making this their next franchise.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So Ghost of Tsushima, 2.4 million in its first 3 days. That's really fucking good for a new game. For a new game.
Yeah.
So I'll keep looking. You know what's funny, though? Do you know where it sucked at selling? Was Japan. Japan, it did nothing out there.
Really?
No money.
Huh. Probably maybe culture thing, maybe.
Ghost of Tsushima has achieved the second highest lifetime sales for a PS4 first-party game. Let's see. So for something that's not... So I know which article. So this article says it's the second highest selling PlayStation game that's not a sequel. Or like... So the first one would still be Spider-Man because it's not a sequel. So... And that's only physical. That's not including digital.
Yeah, so that's my only... Like, I don't know. Last of Us, I don't know. I feel like this...
I wish the leaks never came out for that game. I really wish the leaks never came out for that game.
I don't even think I still firmly believe that the leaks did nothing for me.
No. I'm not saying for you. I'm saying for just the fan base. I literally think the leaks ruined that game.
I agree. I think that it definitely ruined it for the majority. For me, I don't think it ruined it.
No, because you're different though. Like to the general toxic people who won't even listen to an opinion.
Yeah.
Like those people who didn't even play the game, who just watched videos or read the leaks, and they're like, "That's complete bullshit."
Yeah, I understand. Like me and you talked about it on the podcast. Like I understand. Like I even understand like why they did it. It's very bold, and I understand what they were trying to capture with the game. I get it. Mm-hmm. It's just, it's not what I particularly wanted from a sequel.
But that's the thing. I didn't even want a fucking sequel.
Like, hell, I told you this straight out, like, after I finished it, the first, like, after I told you it was amazing, like, so do you want a sequel? Or, like, first rumors coming out, like, sequels, like, being, developed. I told you, like, I don't want it.
Well, that's the thing.
Like, I think it's a perfect game as
right
it was.
Now, I don't want a fucking sequel to 2. If they're going to do a sequel to Last of Us, do a different character, different part of the world, do something different. I don't want to know about Ellie. I don't want to know anything else. Where her story ended was perfect for me. There's things to come up to interpretation, and I think those are the smartest things.
And but here's my thing about that whole game is that I don't even think it needs, like, please just leave it at 2. Like
that's why I'm saying leave it at 2.
I don't want like side stories like.
Well, and that's the thing.
Like,
I don't want it either. But
because
you
I
know
think
they're going to after
know,
making the sales.
And that's like the thing that I hate about it. I'm like, they didn't even need to flesh out this whole story, this world. They could have just left that one, and it's perfect the way it needs to be.
That's why I like hearing the director talk about it, because the director, Neil, says, he goes, we didn't want to make 2. And he goes, Sony told us, you don't have to make 2. And he said, cool. He goes, if I have an idea, if us and the creators have an idea to tell a story that we feel passionate about telling, which, again, I give major props to Sony. Because if this was Xbox would be like, you're doing 4 different prequels for Last of Us right now. You're doing a prequel about Joel. You're doing a prequel about Tommy. You're going to do a prequel about the zombies. You're going to play as the fucking goddamn zombies. Because look at Gears of War. Pop Funko game, Gears 5, Tactics Gears, Gears 6. It's Halo Wars, Halo this.
And I can do nothing again but give praise to Sony about like what they do for all their houses. They don't put pressure, it feels like. They said, hey man, like just let us know when you're ready to make a game and we'll start.
And I think Microsoft's learning from that, because let's be honest, Microsoft 4 years ago would have said Halo 6 coming out first day when the Xbox came out. Instead they're like, I think even
when it has any of a full Sony exclusive ever been like, we have to rush out this now, like it's always pushed back. It's always pushed back. And I still firmly believe if that leak didn't happen for Last of Us 2, Last of Us 2 would have been ported to the PS5. It would have been a PS5 first day title. And maybe because they pushed it back with no release date. Leak comes out next day. They're like, it's coming out in June. I could see that.
But no, like, and when we look at the PlayStation cycle, there wasn't a bad exclusive that I can remember. There was decent ones.
There's Order,
which
it was more.
It was fine.
It was okay, decent.
But that's it, dude. You know, there's still rumors about Resistance making a comeback. I want it. I think that's the one thing Sony's actually missing is a first-person shooter.
No, they are. 100%. They had Killzone. Guerrilla's now working on Horizon.
Yeah, they literally said they'll never go back to Killzone. They said if someone works on Killzone, it's gonna be a different developer.
Yeah,
which that's fine with me, because.
And honestly, if they would have kept the same from it as 2, it would have been
because crazy. Shadowfall was good. It didn't keep your attention.
So 2 was when you visited like the original like Hellgast world. And like that was like,
if you guys have never played Killzone, just play 2. 2's so good.
Just play 2. The way that like, even if you like go back, the graphics still hold up for what it was.
Killzone was M, right?
Yeah. There was a video I watched. It was the reason funny you mentioned this, because I not too long ago saw a video on YouTube, and I was like watching the whole thing of like why Killzone like worked but then failed. And they talked about videos. Yeah. Me too.
I think that guy did one on Resistance.
There's so many different ones, but what he was talking about is like the reason why it worked in 2 is because it was slow as hell. The color palette was dark. You felt
Killzone reminds me of Gears of War, but like Halo.
Yes,
like that's what it always felt like. And Resistance kind of gave me that same feeling too.
Yeah,
where it was Halo but darker.
And the thing I loved about even like the thing that really made Killzone work, truthfully. The guns. They talked about emphasis on guns. That is a huge thing that like you got to make sure you get right, and I never realized it.
Doom's a big part of that guns.
Well, yeah, you got to make sure each gun, like if your game's centered around first person shooter, you got to make sure each gun feels like it has a thump or it does something. And that's what they did in Killzone 2. And then they lost that, went off crazy. So yeah, I would agree. I think if they bring back Resistance again, I told you, I'm like, I don't have time, but like,
I just Insomniac said they wouldn't do it. They said a different developer in house would do it because they're too busy with their other projects.
What are they doing right now?
They're working on 2 Spider-Man games and a Ratchet and Clank, and they have a new IP that they haven't even announced yet.
That's right.
They said that they're working on some new IP that they haven't announced yet, and it was actually leaked out that Sony has. I'm gonna try and find the tweet while you're talking, because it's a really interesting tweet. I gotta go find it.
I'd be okay if a different developer took the helm of making Resistance, as long as they made like close friends with Insomniac, talk to him like, all right, how can we, make it feel like an actual Resistance game and not deviate away from it, but have their own spin on it. I'd be okay with that.
I agree. I agree. Are you excited for Demon Souls?
I never played it.
Neither did I. But
I heard it's supposed to be like,
dude, the graphics look so fucking
the graphics look amazing, but
so
I don't know. It was the around the time like Demon Souls released right around the time Dark Souls came out.
Well, it's same developers too. Demon Souls was actually the original concept, and it was a PlayStation 3 exclusive. And I remember it came out and it was very, very small and tiny. No one talked about it. And then Dark Souls came out and it was like, oh, what the fuck is this?
Yeah. So so what's really the difference? Is it like play the same because it
plays the same, but when I tried Demon Souls, I yelled more at that game than I ever did a Dark Souls game.
Oh.
But again, the first two Dark Souls and Demon Souls are fucking clunky as shit. And that's why I yell. Because Dark Souls 3 and I think Bloodborne got it, and Sekiro, where they got it right. The combat, everything works perfect. If you die, it's your fault. Yeah. It's always your fault. It's never a glitch. It's never any of that. It's your fault.
Yeah.
First two Dark Souls, walk upstairs, boulder kills me.
Yeah.
And it's like you can't get out of the way.
Yeah, okay, so with that being said, yes, I'm excited for it. I'll play it. I need to commit to one of those games and play it through, start to finish, and beat it.
Look at this screenshot for Demon Souls.
Oh, yeah.
It looks beautiful. Like, have you beaten any of them?
No.
I've beaten Bloodborne, Dark Souls 3. But I did it in the minimalistic way. Fast as possible. Don't fuck with the bosses. If I don't have to fight a boss, I ain't gonna fight it.
So you just...
Sekiro, I got too pissed and I stopped playing. Okay, so here we go. So this guy leaked out that Sony still has a bunch of games in development that they haven't announced yet. They have 3 AAA action-adventure games. One is assumed to be the next God of War. Obviously. And another one is assumed to be the next Uncharted without Nathan Drake. That's fine. The other one is an IP, a new IP.
I'm okay. Yeah, I want to see
2 AAA first-person sci-fi shooters. One has to be Resistance.
I mean...
2 AAA survival horror games. One being third-person, one being first-person. There's a bunch of rumors that they really did buy the rights to Silent Hill. What? What?
I don't have time for this shit. I don't.
I know. Don't you wish we were like still kids?
No, dude. Actually, yes, I do. I just gotta make it through this last like 2 fucking years.
I know.
Oh, graduating from college, I have time. Oh!
Dude, also rumored Ninja Gaiden Sigma trilogy coming to the PS5.
Remastered. I don't really care. I just want the new one.
That's it. That would be like their lead up to the new one.
But it's only an Xbox exclusive, so why would it care?
If it'd be PlayStation 2.
Oh, it's PlayStation. I thought it said it coming only to Xbox.
No one. Yeah, I guess that was not true.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I only want to play the first one or the new one.
But yeah, so those are the other one, and then there's like a bunch of other smaller things that are AAA, but no one has guesses to those yet.
I don't have time for this shit. Just don't.
All right,
don't.
So yeah, games are just coming heavily aplenty, man. It's funny because we started talking about Avengers and it got to this conversation, guys. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so live service games I think will eventually just die out. I mean, that's just the truth.
I don't think they'll die out. I think they have a place here. I think that it's just a genre of games. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think it's going anywhere.
I have a question for you. Do you think Fortnite will ever die?
I was thinking about that yesterday. Same thing.
Because Call of Duty, Call of Duty has pretty much been on upwards, and then Ghost came out, and it was hard. Yeah, Advanced Warfare, hard. Then what was after that? Black Ops 4?
Maybe, but that's the thing. I don't understand why Ghost went to why it shit. I didn't think so. I like Ghost. I literally the best part about Ghost was their inventive alien. Was it? Oh yeah. Did they have the alien? Yeah, and then which Call of Duty was underrated, and I think you and me were probably the only people that played it. Was the space one? Oh, Infinite.
That was so underrated.
Yeah,
that was so much fun, and the zombies mode for it, awesome, so much fun.
That was pretty neat. I actually enjoyed that.
But that's my thing. Do you think Fortnite's around forever now? Minecraft's been around forever now. Call of Duty's been around forever now. Is Fortnite just
the new, like, kind of like Minecraft?
Yeah,
probably.
But my question is, does this battle royale thing stay for so long, or does it eventually die and they need to readjust the game again?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
People are still enjoying it.
And I love battle royale games. I think they're fun. I think that I get bored of certain ones. Like, I always find myself going back to PUBG because that was the original one. And I like what they do with it, but
it's almost like, remember Unreal Tournament?
Yeah.
So I look at it, the way I kind of see it going is that Fortnite's going to be kind of like the Unreal Tournament, where there's always going to be
a good parallel.
That main, like, battle dome, duke it out, like, in a small arena with guns.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody else will be like your Call of Duties, your Halo, stuff like that, which is what it is like now, you know. Yeah. Because everybody has a battle royale. And for me, again, it's like kind of like a live service. It's just a genre of games. I'm not a fan of battle royales. I never enjoyed them. I'm not a fan of just that whole playstyle of you gotta go in, like, because there's especially with Call of Duty, there's too many bugs, too many people that cheat, too many small things that could really, that there's a lot of things that are not in your control that can make you lose, and you just have to accept that. And I'm not a person that likes to lose based off of things that he had no control over.
Yeah, or a camper or some shit.
Well, see, for me, a camper, I mean, I can deal with somewhat of a camper. I can't deal with random, crazy-ass dumb bugs and cheaters. I can't deal with this. I can deal with a camper because I'm like, what, like,
well, and that's
they're
why
not even cheating. Like,
I mostly go towards more single-player or PvE stuff now, because that's what hooks me in. That's what is fun to me. And don't get me wrong, like, I love hopping on Call of Duty to play with you guys. I love hopping on Fortnite to play with my friend. You know what I mean? Like, I love hopping on because it's that interaction. But, I mean, 9 out of 10 times, I mean, like, I'm going to turn myself on offline. Like, you guys always were like, Zach, turn yourself back on off. I'm offline for a reason because I don't want you to be fucking invited to things.
For sure.
Until if I see someone on and I want to talk, I'll invite.
See, I don't give a shit. You can send me invites all day. I'm like, I'm doing me.
But it's annoying when, boop, because, George, I love you. But have you ever gotten an invite from him 30 million times? So that's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing. So, but it's so interesting to see, like, again, we are in a point of our time and our age where we are seeing things adjust. Things change. The world and the industry going through a change. And it's not even just games or movies. It's everything. Everyone's trying to adjust to a new... And it was even before COVID, I would say. Was trying to change and try out new things and new technology and stuff like that. And that's what I'm really obsessed with, is new tech and seeing how can this revolutionize stuff but also not make us lazy.
Tech's gonna make us lazy inevitably.
Yeah,
that's just tech.
Yeah,
they're like, think about all the jobs that robots have replaced.
Oh, ton. You know, there's a restaurant in California that there's only robot servers and cooks.
Hey, I don't doubt it. Look at all of, like, the main jobs that I don't know about Americans or even just the world, but it's like, it seems like a lot of them are just like sitting on your ass doing nothing all day. Mm-hmm. Robots are making, I guess, increasingly more lazy, less focused, I would say, even too. You don't, like, we still have car accidents.
Yeah. And
living in Arizona, it baffles me.
How many car accidents you see?
Yeah, because we're on a big giant grid system. You just drive straight.
When I was driving over here today, I was in the right lane, and there was a guy in the middle. And I'm like going 45, this dude's probably going 30. I don't know what the fuck he was doing. Dude, he tried swerving over to my lane. No, just because he had to get over, because we're getting up to get on the freeway.
Yeah, I have to start laying on my horn now.
Dude, same. I'm like, first off, and he literally scooted right back over. Like, he was about to hit me. I said, dude, I thought to myself, first off, where the fuck's your blinker?
So,
2, you did not check your fucking mirror.
Yeah, people aren't. That's what I've noticed a lot of, because similar situation. Right here on right by the freeway.
Yeah.
You know how if you're headed north and you're in that left lane to get onto the freeway to turn left, it like curves and then it turns into the 2 turn lanes. I'm in that left lane and I'm going to work. I have my turn signal on, and there's this truck in front of me, giant. It was a Dodge. She's from Texas. It was a Texas plate.
We got Texas.
Yeah.
Man.
I turn on my turn signal, and as I'm turning into my proper lane, because I go to the far left lane, and you know how there's 2 lanes, so you have a left and a right. The right lane's a little bit backed up. I just have my turn signal on, and I cut hard into it already, and this dude don't give a fuck and just full on cuts me off. I'm like,
do you lay your horn?
No, because I was like, that was the last rubber. Like, I'm gonna have to. Because
which it's funny.
Because it happened 3 other like dumbass times.
Which is
I'm
funny
like,
talking about this. I went and saw that movie Unhinged with Russell Crowe.
Oh yeah,
dude. Oh my fucking god. First off, I never want to honk my horn again at someone after watching that movie. Cause can I spoil?
I mean, you don't gotta spoil for me.
I'm gonna spoil it, guys. It's
spoiler.
So it doesn't really matter. It'll probably intrigue you to go see the movie more. It's one of the worst films I've ever seen, but it's so bad. It's actually good. I loved it. Yes, because it was so much fun. Like me and my dad watched it, and we were just laughing out loud. So there's a part. So lady's having a bad day. You know, she's getting a divorce. Her husband's trying to take the kid. You know, all this sort of stuff. Loses her job.
The worst day possible.
Worst day possible. Driving her kid to work or driving her
having
kid to
to people
school
all day.
Yeah,
every single day.
She's at a red light, 1 lane, and the guy's not going. So she starts. She waits a little bit, like the polite person would be, and honks. Dude still doesn't move, so she goes around and flips him off. Well, then car starts moving. It's Russell Crowe in the damn car. Follows, and he rolls down his window. And he goes, "Really fucking window down." He goes, I'm sorry, I stalled, blah, 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 blah. Just trying to be polite. Dude, she's being a fucking bitch to him. And he starts following her and trying to ram her off the road and consistently does this. And then she parks, goes and, like, gets food, and she's like, I'm trying to recall him, blah, blah, blah. She goes outside, and her phone's missing, and he's just parked right behind her. And he starts following her and hitting her car. And he took her phone and starts meeting up with her friends and family. He kills one of them in public. Like, they're just at lunch, and he goes, "Oh, where's Diana?"
This is the most ridiculous.
Where's Diana?
You gotta stop saying. And
he
goes, "Oh, so ridiculous."
He goes, "Call her." And he goes, "Who are you with right now?" And dude, he literally grabs him and starts shoving a pencil in the back of his fucking head. Given tons of civilians around him, I'm like, no one's gonna call the cops. And it's on the news. The cops can't find this guy. Dude, it is absolutely... And then there's a part where he goes to her house and her brother's there with his girlfriend.
This is
and
absurd.
The brother's like, "Where are you at, honey?" And then she's there and he's holding her and he has a knife. And dude, the Russell Crowe grabs his hand and starts shoving it into the ground and goes, "Look, you're killing her."
This is the most ridiculous... Wow.
Do you want to know how it ends?
No.
She stabs him in the eye with the scissors and says, "Gotcha."
Jeez.
So bad, so good, so great. So never flip off someone, never honk your horn, because you never know if they're gonna follow you home.
Honestly, dude, I still it's to the point where I'm like, you gotta embarrass people.
You have to, because people suck at driving.
Well, like just in general, like if people like at some point, we have too many people that are like too sensitive. We have a way too sensitive freaking world. And we give awards for being losers. Being a loser is not a bad thing. It just means that you have to work harder. You should not get an award for not trying.
You shouldn't.
And that's like the problem. I feel like it's a big problem.
And if you try to, then it makes it worse.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's move on to the next topic. Xbox officially has a release date. Prices for 2 new consoles. It's finally here. You know, every other console, someone did a whole lineup, and when the PS4 and Xbox One were coming out, there was pre-orders 5 months before the console was coming out. We're getting to the point where it's 2 months from now we're gonna have the new consoles. 2 months.
Crazy to think about.
Yeah, so let's talk about Xbox because this is what we officially know. So the Xbox Series S and Xbox Series X, still terrible names. Terrible names. I'm going to feel bad for the kid who's going to ask for the Xbox Series X and his mom's going to buy him the Xbox One X. Because...
Yeah. I don't understand.
The names are terrible.
Whatever.
But whatever. We're going to move on about it. The PS5, so smart. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Xbox 360, Xbox One. It's like, is this a car?
Dude, freaking it's literally Samsung jump from 10 to 20.
Yeah.
There's like names with like generations are getting so stupid.
It's so dumb. So, all right. So let's go into this. So Xbox Series S got leaked. $300 November 10th. November 10th is going to be the release date. Insane. Two biggest differences for this. It's straight up digital. It's tiny as shit. And the damn console runs at 4K.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm also looking at this and I'm like, why the fuck is this other console so big then? If it's literally running 4K, like that's the only difference. And it has a disc, it's insane to me. But $300, that's...
It makes me wonder if the bigger one will just have a better overall...
CPU and stuff.
Not that, but just a better overall lifespan. Maybe so. Because I feel like, and also just looking at it as it is, thermal cooling.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even, like, I'm assuming that the console with a disk drive is going to get hotter than the one without. I think they're all going to be the same.
Mm-hmm.
And just size comparison. If you know anything about temperatures and heat, small box, not great for heat. Bigger box, way big. And the vents and stuff. Yeah, exactly.
Which is cool. The Xbox X has
perfect.
that giant circle on top, which is a giant vent.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's black, though. Why didn't you just make the vent white to blend in with the color?
Contrast.
It looks ugly as fuck.
Contrast.
Whatever, though. So then, next day, they announced, fuck it. Xbox Series X also coming out the same day. $500.
Yeah.
Knew that was going to be the price. Honestly, I was expecting more, but I'm happy it was $500. Same day. So now there's rumors coming out about the PlayStation because obviously they were both playing with chicken with each other.
Yeah.
One person didn't want to go higher than the other.
Mm-hmm.
So now there's rumors coming out that the PlayStation 5, we'll just say that, there's digital and disc, both coming out November 20th. That's the rumored date right now. I think it would actually be smarter for them to launch it before.
I don't give a shit.
That's my thing. But I also think it'd be smarter to launch it before. If they even want to go higher. Or if they want to keep it at the same price, I think it's smart. But there's rumors that they want to slice what they were going. So the rumored prices that PlayStation was looking at was $400 for the digital and $600 for the disc.
So digital $400, disc
$600.
$200 difference just for a disc.
Yes.
What is the difference between?
So to be honest, when you look at a disc drive, it's a 4K disc drive. A 4K player is typically $250.
Okay,
that's a cheap price anyway.
Yeah.
So like, that's why like I have the Xbox One X because I wanted a 4K player. And honestly, usually we sell our consoles and get the new one. I'm gonna keep it because it's a 4K player. Like I'm just gonna keep it and use it as a 4K disc player.
The smart thing that Sony should do is keep their prices, but just lower their disc price.
That's true. But they also can't control what Ubisoft and Activision want to sell their games for. They can control what they want to sell them for, which I'm going to tell you right now. They've already announced that Miles Morales is going to be a shorter, smaller game than the typical Spider-Man game.
Yeah.
If that game is $70 fucking, I'm going to be so pissed. It's not a full game. If Ratchet and Clank is $70, I can understand that because it's a full game. Understanding, but
welcome to the new generation. The new generation, dude.
Oh yeah,
you're gonna get.
How much would you spend on
less
Cyberpunk?
For more.
How much would you spend on Cyberpunk?
$70.
$70.
I mean, if that's the new price, I'm okay. Mm-hmm. I'm not okay with it, but I'm okay with it.
Okay.
The reason why I'm okay with it is because I'm just a different person in this demographic.
Mm-hmm.
I don't play video games as much.
I was just curious because for me, I mean, I play a ton of games still.
Yeah,
but this is gonna make me start looking at it and being like, do I really need to spend $70 on a game? And I don't think games are going to sell as fast opening day, depending on what they are. You know what I mean? Like
they won't.
Like Last of Us. Last of Us Last of Us is different because it's a sequel. But Ghost of Tsushima. If that was a $70 game, I don't think it would have sold as fast right away, just because it's a new property. People don't know how to feel about it. It's weird how much of a $10 difference can really sway people. Because 60, you're like,
so
that's a lot. Yeah, but we're used to 60 because we've been conditioned to 60.
It was like what? It was at 1.50, right?
So when we were younger, it was 50.
Yeah.
So the 360. So the Xbox and PS2, it was like 40, 50. And then when the new consoles came around, it was a little bit around 50 still. Then midway through it was 60, and then we were conditioned for 60 for so long.
I even just thought about this too. It's going to be interesting what they do with indie games, what the price point is.
I think those stay the same.
If they stay the same, I think they'll be fine. If they treat it more of like you're getting like, if they price games according to how much time and effort they put into, I think that's fine. I think at that point it's like you know what you're $7
And can I say
getting.
something? Going back to the live service stuff too, Fortnite's fucking free, Warzone free, Apex Legends free. I think we're in Destiny 2's going free, correct?
I think so.
Or it's actually free right now,
really
but
pay attention to it.
But I don't know what they're doing with the add-ons. So for me now, I wonder what they're going to do. Because remember back in the day, it used to be a subscription service, like with World of Warcraft, which still World of Warcraft. But now when you pay for that subscription, you get all the add-ons.
Yeah.
I think for subscription, for these live services to really work, because you know what game failed? And that was live service? Anthem.
Anthem had a lot of bugs, though.
Anthem had a lot of problems, but that was the biggest thing. I think if Anthem was free, more people would have gotten it and played it. Even though it had bugs and stuff, I think more people would have given it a bigger chance.
It had too much of backlash. It had literally a game, like it had a console-breaking bug.
Well,
people aren't people.
No, I know, but I'm saying like first
game.
day people trying it out and playing it, they would have because it was free.
Yes, but they would have not made any money.
Not as much.
They still wouldn't have made enough money to even keep it to where it is now. I don't think
it's not even fucking real.
And then at
that point, GameStop doesn't even take trade-ins on that game anymore.
Good. I don't understand why. Like even EA, EA did that. EA oversees all of it.
EA literally fucked up so bad.
They keep on fucking up, but people keep on forking them over money. I'm tired of being like that person that does it. Like. I'm done drinking. I don't even go to Starbucks anymore. Like I'm tired of paying $5 for a fucking coffee. It's absolutely ridiculous,
dude. Yesterday at the movies, $5 for candy.
Yeah,
I know. I get. That's how they make their money.
Yeah,
but like $5 for a bag of gummy bears.
Yeah, dude.
Popcorn $7. Fine.
Dude, yeah,
we
went to go see freaking Tenet. That bag of Skittles, and granted, the bag of Skittles was like a resealable, but still, fucking $5 for it is ridiculous. And I paid for it because I was like, yeah, it's $5, but I just want to snack on something while I was there. And
it's so crazy how much, like, whatever. The Xbox, PlayStation. So now it's rumored that the PlayStation is going to cut its prices to match the Xbox, the digital. I don't think it's going to. I think it's going to do like $350, $400 still for the digital. But the disc drive will be $500 just to match for the Series X. So I wonder if Sony's going to play the same game that they did with the PS4. They cut the price. Remember, very early. And remember, Xbox was more than them. I wonder if they're going to cut the price again.
If they do, they do.
I think if they cut it, it's going to be by $50. Like $450.
It'd be a smart idea to do it to 100, but if they do it for at least 50, I wouldn't be surprised.
But the thing that's going to come down to here, yes, there's one thing I will give Xbox that has over every other console right now. It's that fucking Game Pass. That Game Pass is still the smartest deal that you can possibly get, especially now that EA's Game Pass is equipped with it. So now you get the likes of Battlefield,
right? Yeah,
Mass Effect,
but
all these games for free.
Mass Effect is like I would say the only. Mass Effect and
Dragon
some of the
Age.
Battlefields have been like the most successful things that EA stuff.
Yeah, but still, it's still crazy that that's the thing that they're going with. So the whole Game Pass in general was really.
You have to like that's like the biggest things. Like yes, it sounds good, but what are you getting? Are you getting shit? Or are you getting quality? That is the biggest thing at the end of the day. And then how much are you really like? Granted, if you look at it and you balance it all out, and I'm pretty sure. It is worth the money if you have that much time to sit and play video games. And that's like what your hobby is playing video games. Then yeah, it's worth it. For me, it's not. I'm okay, cool. Comes bundled with EA. In my opinion, you're just.
It's just an added. Honestly, for me, it's just an added bonus. I mean, that means I don't have to pay for their game.
Shit, I'm gonna even say.
But that's the reason I look at it. Like, it's a bonus for me. I don't have to pay pay for their game. I get to just play it and try it. I'm already paying for Game Pass for the likes of Gears, Halo, and everything else they have on there. That's the only reason I'm excited about it and how I like it. But
I think the more I'm seeing Xbox, I feel like Xbox's business model right now is trying to be accessible to everyone as much as possible and give them variety. And that's amazing. I think that's very smart. I think that, we need companies like that. While Sony on the other spectrum is, here it is. Pick it up if you want it. We know what we make. Mm-hmm. And they don't really need to talk any much more about it. Like, I don't know. I just...
No, I get what you mean. I get what you mean. It's just, video games are, again, very interesting. And that's why we love talking about the market.
Markets in general.
Yeah. And for me, money-wise...
That's like the...
If I want something, I'm going to fork the money over for it.
That's like the biggest thing. That's really the biggest thing about this whole like topic is really, it's like, what
so do you think PlayStation has something new with Now? Do you think they're going to do something different with it?
The smart thing to do would be, add in some backwards compatibility, because right now it says that nothing's backwards compatible.
Besides the PS4 games. But here's the thing, even with that. If they seriously can't, like if there's just something wrong where they cannot do the backwards compatibility, just put it on the Now. If I can download Resistance or Crash Bandicoot or Jak and Daxter and play it, then I'm okay with that.
For me, I don't understand what... It'd be kind of cool if Disney opened up a whole new division within their department. It was like, you guys are strictly dedicated to remastering games.
That'd be cool.
So they can be optimized for future generations.
And I know a lot of people get mad about... what is it? A lot of people get mad about remasters and remakes. I only get mad when I look at it and I'm like, that's the same fucking game.
Yeah.
It's literally, there's nothing like, so there's rumors that they're doing a Mass Effect remastered trilogy. Cool. I love Mass Effect, but I'm going to tell you right now, if that game looks the exact fucking same, I have zero reason to buy that game because I still own the first three. I literally have zero reasons. Because guess what? Dumb. Maybe the third game you don't have to change much because it's still pretty modern. Maybe maybe make it like 80 frames per second, 120.
The thing with
but if I'm not joking, if the first game is still the same, because I hate the first game. I love Mass Effect, but I fucking hate the first game. If the first game's vehicle controls, all that stuff is still there, garbage. Throw it in the garbage can. Just toss it real fast.
My biggest thing with Mass Effect was always the cinematic graphics. Honestly, just the graphics in itself. They always felt very stiff to me, Mass Effect.
The 2 and 3, when you get deeper into it, I would say no, but the first one, yeah. Oh. The first one's... it's so funny because I put off playing the second one for so long because I was so disappointed by that first one. And then I finally, played it, and I was like, okay, I see why this won Game of the Year. The second one is still the best game in the whole franchise, so... any points to kind of leave off on before we get to the viewer questions?
Nah, man.
All right, so let's jump into them. So the first one, in an Avengers game, what character would you be excited to play as if they introduced? For me, Doctor Strange. You?
I'm not sure because I don't know everybody that's in it.
But just in general. So the main characters right now, the only characters they have is
Gambit.
Hulk, Cap. Great choice. Gambit would be really cool. Gambit, and then Scarlet Witch would be really cool. Vision, any of those more mystical characters I think would be kind of unique.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Someone asked, Tyler, are you going to play the Nickelodeon Kart Racers 2 Grand Prix? I think you would really like it. You know I picked that one specifically for you.
It's going to be a no boil.
Okay. What if we get 1 million subs? Would you do a live stream of you playing it?
If we got 1 million subs, I would.
Oh, same. All right. What remastered would you love to play? If they were to remaster one game, what would you like to play?
It's either Sly Cooper or Resistance.
Okay.
Shit! I take it back. Jak and Daxter Resistance.
So for you, I'll say Sly Cooper, so we can get the Sly Cooper.
I mean, but that's why I also do back Sly Cooper. I mean, you can only do so much with the remaster for Sly Cooper. It's still it's a cartoon.
But same with Jack and Dax are the same.
Jack, agreed, but you can definitely smooth some things out on that. I feel like Sly Cooper just works, honestly, for what it is. I think it's more of the art style of what Sly Cooper is versus Jack and Daxter.
Okay.
Jack and Daxter, you can.
So I would say, okay, and then also adding to this, what is one franchise you'd love to bring back? I mean, Resistance is the one. I want to say Twisted Metal. Oh, Dead Space, and I'll say Twisted Metal. I think Twisted Metal is one that I'm surprised. This is the only console to not have a Twisted Metal game. PS3 had one, PS2 had one, PS1 had one.
Sure, PS4 didn't have one?
PS4 didn't have a single Twisted Metal game.
You sure? Look that up right now. I'm pretty sure they did.
I don't think they did.
I'm pretty sure they did. I'm pretty fucking sure they did.
Let's see. On the PlayStation Store, you can rebuy Twisted Metal Black. But that's it.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, you can only rebuy Twisted Metal Black on there.
Maybe that's the one.
Yeah. Also, can I give a shout out to Warhawk and Mag? The Mag game.
Warhawk.
Dude, Warhawk, I was watching gameplay for that, and they literally just shut the server down like 2 weeks ago, and I'm like, I really wanted to get back in and play that game for a bit. I didn't love it, but like it was kind of weird and fun to play. Mag was cool. 250 fucking players.
That's so crazy.
Yeah. All right. And the final question, Tyler, I'm going to ask you right now, and right now, here and there. Would you love to see Christopher Nolan do a video game? Or do you want him to just stick with movies?
I'd like him to do it like J.J.R. Martin's doing a game.
Oh, like have his input? Okay.
Like
what studio would you want him to work with?
Oh.
And it... No, I'll let you choose whoever. George R. R. Martin's working with the perfect studio.
From Software, right?
Yeah. No microtransactions there.
Well, I'm just curious to see what they do with it. Probably...
Because that one's called Elden Ring, right?
Yeah, something like
we
that.
still don't know shit
nothing
about that game.
If it was still around Visceral.
Okay.
Because what they did with Dead Space was really interesting, really unique, and if Visceral was with Sony, they would have done some pretty awesome stuff.
I'm gonna say Quantum Dreams, the ones who do Heavy Rain, Beyond Two Souls.
Yeah, I'd agree
just
with
because
that.
I think that his style would fit very much in line with those. The only other studio would really, I think,
actually
say it.
Hideo Kojima.
You want to see him do a game with him? Ooh, that'd be really cool.
Well, he has his own studio.
That's true.
Hideo Studio or Kojima
I wonder if
Studio.
Sony's like looking at him now and they're like, "Hey,
can you tone it down a little bit?
You know that baby game you made? It didn't sell too good. It got a lot of good reviews, but we wanted to make it
threw you a lot of money.
A lot of money.
Stupid amounts of money.
It's good. I love the game, but I
don't think it's a bad game. It was just a game that was not meant for this kind of audience.
No, and I think the way it was marketed was not great. I think they marketed it. I think that game should not have been announced too early because then there's so many damn rumors about it. They should have literally been like, it's a walking simulator. They straight up should have said that.
Yeah, there's too many speculation on what the game was gonna be.
So I guarantee Sony's like, hey, you're gonna do our next franchise we want you to do.
Yeah, we want you to do this one and
then you can go do a weird thing again. You can go make Death Stranding 5 if
we
you
need
like.
you to make money.
I don't. Kojima is the type of dude to make a Death Stranding and then make Death Stranding 5 but have nothing in between. It would just literally be called Death Stranding 5. Or 5 Death Strandings. Something weird. He's obsessed with the world. You can tell. He left it open enough to... You could see where they could go with a sequel. My one thing with the game is... Sony, are you going to make him let him do Sly Cooper? No, I think if Sony honestly owns Silent Hill, and that's the true rumor, he'll do a Silent Hill game.
He needs to.
Do you know what? I'm surprised Sony has not bought in Metal Gear Solid.
Who?
Sony. Surprise.
Probably cost way too much money. They won't sell it.
the fuck are they doing with it?
If you know
Sony just gave...
If you know someone wants something and they're willing to offer you a certain stupid amount of money, why would you want to give it away?
Yeah, that's true. Do you think we'll ever see another Metal Gear Solid?
Not in the proper form.
No, it'll be garbage again.
Yeah. If they should get this rights to Silent Hill. They should tell, hey, Hideo, we appreciate your creativity and your wonderful brain right there, but we need you to make back some of that money we threw
You
at
need to make PT. You need to make PT.
Yeah, we need you just like, hey, man, we're all for like creativity, but we need to make some of that money back, and then we'll like let you off the hook. Because it's not even like, I don't want to say negative about it, but they threw a lot of money.
They let him do whatever he wanted, and
you know, it's funny. It's like we always talked about like how it's good to give creativity. I even said that, I was like,
I'm sure he pitched the idea and they're like, this is really fucking cool. And then I feel like 2 years in, they walked over and they're like, hey, how...
Or they already knew that this was kind of how, like, they already knew the risks. They were completely fine with the bad, which would probably be...
I mean, they are very opening to their developers.
And I think they were like, you know what, if this is what you want to do, that's fine. And honestly, it could really be that. It could be that's how cool of freaking company Sony is. Yeah. It's like, you know what, this is what you want to do. This is what you, like, we got to do for you to be a part of our team. Fuck it.
He literally made a studio at Sony.
Yeah. And that's why I think Sony... I feel like Sony is way smarter than people think they know.
I think they are too.
Like, I think they really said, this is what we have to do for you to be part of our team. Cool. Do what you want. We just want you here so we can just have you as a creative person to later
Well, and that's what a lot of studios are doing now is like directors. They're like, Blumhouse just signed a deal with these independent directors and said, your next 3 films, whatever the ideas are, they're coming through us. You can't go to another studio. You can't do anything. Ben Affleck had that with Warner Brothers. I'm pretty sure Nolan has that with Warner Brothers too.
What they should start doing with video games, to really, if you want to make $70 be okay for people to swallow, they should start doing that. They should have known names. Like, they should really flesh out this market. And I'm telling you right now, I think if human life can get past 2020 and the world doesn't go to shit and can actually have a nice future, I'm telling you right now, video games are going to be the future.
No,
it's going to replace...
they'll be that medium.
I think I think games are going to turn into what movies are and what games are. I mean, and what sports are. I think physical sports will slowly sizzle away.
I agree.
I think it's already shown. Like, not
especially this year, no one's still interested. No one's as interested about sports as they used to be.
That, for some people, it's also like the organization of themselves. Like a lot, like I don't know. It's gonna be very crazy culture change, and truthfully, like the way I think games will be.
We're growing, man, and I think you just dropped the ball. So let's end it there. Thank you guys so much for watching us. Thank you for listening, all that sort of stuff. We really do appreciate us. By the time we do the next podcast, we should have information on the PS5. Isn't that crazy? We're getting down to the final details.
That's crazy. In 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
It will be 24. Yeah, it'll be the 24th, which is a day before my birthday.
There you go. Perfect. There we go.
That's crazy.
So thank you guys again so much for watching this. Of course, until next time, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Follow us, rate us, all sorts of stuff. It helps us all out. And of course, stay classy.
Later, guys.